With a Smile and a Gun is a game for 1 or 2 players from Subsurface Games. And what you're trying to do in this is you're basically these mob bosses during Prohibition era, and you're trying to gain influence over these 9 city blocks. You're doing that through some dice drafting. You're trying to have more of your influence in the block than the police. You're trying to have more of your influence in the block than your opponent. You're trying to have a monopoly in drugs or narcotics, in weapons, in gambling, because you want to be the best mobster with the biggest smile and the biggest gun. I made that flavor text up. You can thank me later. So that's enough talking about it. Let's go down to the table, see how it shakes out. Or shakes down. Alright, so here's a game of With a Smile and a Gun. Mostly set up for 2 players. I mean, it's only 2 players, but mostly set up. So to set up, you're going to put this game board out in the middle here. You're going to give each player their little, Prohibition mobster marker. And you'll have the shadow marker here. I guess these are called bosses, so you'll give each player their boss. They'll start at this space here. This is a prototype. It'll probably be laid out more clearly, but you'll start here. No matter how you orient it, start there. There'll be these 3 markers that are going to represent majorities of tokens that you're trying to collect. You'll have the time board, which is where we're going to put our dice when we take actions. We're going to have the shadow, and we're going to have an infusion token or card. We're going to give each player all of their cubes. We're going to have the police cubes and some dice. This didn't come with dice, so I just grabbed some random dice that I have. That's why I have rando colors. And each player is also going to get a turn order card. So you're going to have round overview, which is going to tell you what you're going to do in the round. And you're going to have actions. So I'm going to keep these off to the side because there's a pretty nasty glare, but I may show it again, I may not. All right, so to finish setup, what we're going to do is we're going to put some control markers on each of these 9 spaces. Everything on the outside gets 2 markers, and then you're going to put police cubes based on the number of stars. So in this case, we get 4 police cubes. Go here. We got 2. So we got some gambling, some more police. Police are happening. Got 2 here. We got some narcotics and wet guns, I guess. So we got 3 cops. All right. Let's do this faster. Gambling. All right. So we're going to put 2 along all the outside squares, and then we're going to put 3 in the middle. And we'll put police cubes in there accordingly. So 1, 2, then we'll do 1, 2, 3. All right, let's do some policing. So 2 cubes here, 2 cubes here, 3 cubes here, 1 cube here, 3 cubes here, 3 cubes here. All right, so now that we're all set up, we're ready to go. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna roll all these dice. So let me roll these bad boys. All right, so we have these die faces. What we're going to do is, on a player's turn, they're going to take 1 die to move, and they're going to take 1 die to take one of these actions. And I'll explain these actions when we get there. But for right now, you're going to take 1 die to move, 1 die to take an action. And we're going to go ahead and let green go first because it's right next to me. They're going to take any die that they want. They're going to take a die, and they're going to move. To move, you're just going to move around the outside of the board the applicable number of spaces. So if I move 1, the green guy would move right here. What we're trying to do is we're trying to spread our influence along all these city blocks to try to earn some of these control tokens, which are going to be worth points at the end of the game. After 3 rounds, whoever has the most points is going to be the winner. So let's go ahead and go. So I'm just going to grab some stuff. Probably not the best moves, but I'm going to take a 3. When you take a movement, you're going to put it on. Green player will go on this side, yellow player will go over here. So they're going to move 3. 1, 2, 3. Now when you move, whatever way you're facing, so I'm facing this way, you're going to put cubes down. So starting with the place closest to you, you're going to put 3 cubes. Then you're going to do 2 cubes. Then you're going to do 1 cube. So now I'm starting to work my influence in these blocks. So we're going to keep working on that to try to make sure that I can have more cubes in this territory than the cops. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take a die to take one of these actions. So let me break these down. So if I take a 1, I can put a police cube anywhere I want, just to kind of maybe make somebody else lose a majority. A 2 and a 3, I could take one of my cubes and I could swap it. So I could say I could take this one and put it there if I wanted to. A 4 or a 5, I can just take one of my cubes or any cube off the board. So I could say I take this cop die or cube, just throw it away. A 6, I can take 2 of my cubes and put them in adjacent sections on the board. That one's really good, but you don't always want to take high numbers, and we'll get to that. So I'm going to go ahead and take a die to take an action. I'm going to take a 6. That's fine. We'll roll with a 6. That means I got to put 2 cubes in adjacent spaces. Let's go ahead and do this. I'm going to go here and here just to put some more of my influence there. All right, so now it's yellow's turn. They're going to do the same. They're going to take a die. Is there a 1 in here? Nope. Let's take a 6. See where we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So they're going to put their influence this way because they're looking at this square. It's a lot easier just to pick these up. 3, then 2, then 1. All right. Then they're going to take an action. They took a 6. I might as well take a 6 too. Put some. There's a lot of 6s in there. So I got to put 2 cubes down in adjacent spaces too. I'm going to go this way. So we'll go 1 here and 1 here. All right, that's my first turn. That's green and yellow's first turn. So now it's green's turn again. They're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 will put them here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Is there a 5? They're going to take a 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They're going to put their influence here. So we'll start with 3. 3, 2, 1. All right, so now they're going to take another action. Let's see. So 1 is adding a cop, which I think they're going to, no, there's no 1, so they can't do that. 2 or a 3, they can move one of their cubes. They don't want to do that. 4 or 5, they can get rid of something. Let's go ahead and get rid of something. So they're going to take this 4, put it right there. Oh, I put it in the wrong spot. Put that 4 right there. And they're going to get rid of this cube of mine to help me lose that majority. All right, so now it's yellow. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3. Is there a 3? Let's take a 3. I'll take a 3. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3. Ooh, I actually want a 4. We're going to take a 4. 4. So I'm going to go right here. So I'm going to put my influence down. So 3, 2, 1 in your face. Still got my cube over there, green. Then I'm going to take an action. So a 1, I can put out a cop. 2 or a 3, I can move a cube. 4 or 5, I can get rid of a cube. And a 6, I can dump a couple out. I'm just going to put another 6. I don't care what happens right now. Let's just do another 6. So I'm going to put a couple of yellow cubes out. Let's go 1 here, and we'll go 1 here. I'll break those ties. All right, so the last movement action for both green and yellow. So let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They're going to do 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 right there. They're going to dump some cubes down. 3, 2, 1. All right, then they're going to take an action. Let's just do a 3. They'll do a 3, and they'll move this one over here to maybe get that tie. All right, so then it's yellow's last turn to move. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3. Let's do a 3. We'll do a 3. That sounds fun. So they're going to do a 3. 1, 2, 3 goes right there. And they're going to do 3 here, 2 here, and 1 here. All right, then they're going to take an action. So they can do a 6 or a 4. A 4 will let them get rid of 1 cube. 6 will let them add 2. Let's go ahead and do the 4. So we're going to get rid of 1 cube. I actually want to get rid of... I don't know which one I want to get rid of. Let's get rid of this one. All right, so that is that. Now, the last die is going to work for the shadow. So the way this works is the shadow is going to move 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, and then what he's going to do is, based on this card, he's going to remove all police influence cubes in this district. So he's facing this district, so he'll take all these police cubes, move them away. All right, so now what we're going to do is we're going to move to the feeling the heat section here. Now, whoever has the lowest numbers in these sections is going to get to either take a cube off the board, or add one of their any cube to the board, any color that they want, or 2 police cubes. So we're going to look here. So green has 10, 13, 16. Yellow has 16. So green gets to do this. And they want to add a cube, I think. So they're going to actually add a cube. I don't know where I want to add a cube. Ooh, I'm going to add a cube right here. All right. So now we're going to move on to settling the score, which means we're going to determine majorities of all these squares. And then if the cops get some influence, they're going to break ties according to that fashion. So let's go ahead and go. We'll start where the shadow is, and then we're going to do it. So we're going to look at these. Yellow's in first, so they get first dibs. So they're going to take this. The stars are irrelevant. They're going to take this. And then what they're trying to do is they're trying to get more of these than their opponent, because they'll get 9 points. If they happen to get all of them and their opponent doesn't get any, or they get 1 and their opponent doesn't get any, they get a monopoly. But that's not going to happen this time because green's going to get 1. So green has 1. Yellow has 1. All right, then the cubes go away. Over here, police are in first place, so they get first dibs based on this card. So the first thing they will take is they will take narcotics. Let's take these off to the side. And then yellow will get an infusion token. Infusion lets you use this card. When it applies, you can take it and flip it over, and you get basically a special ability. I'm probably not going to do that, just know that it exists. Then over here, green gets first dibs. They're going to take gambling. The police officer will take the hat. Then we're going to go here. It's a tie for first. Whenever there's a tie for first, all cubes remain and nothing else goes away. So that one's good. That one's done. Police here have the tie. Whenever there's a tie, they always default to the hats, and they always take the highest number hat, so they'll take the 6. Green is going to get the 5. So you're trying to get majorities of narcotics, gambling, and weapons. The hats are just worth points, so this is 5 points. So that's how those work. We'll pick them up. All right, then we're going to move on to the next one. 3, 3, 4. So cops get first place here. So they'll take the 7 hat. Ooh, nasty. All right, whenever there's a tie for second, nobody gets anything, and the token just goes away. All right, over here, green gets first dibs. They're going to take... Ooh, they don't have any narcotics. So they're going to take some narcotics. Then the cops will take the next one, and yellow gets nothing. Then we'll go here. Yellow gets first dibs. I think we're going to take the big 6 hat. Then police get this one. Green gets nothing. Then we're going to come over here. Yellow gets first dibs. So they'll take... They don't want them getting all these points, so they're actually going to take that. And then blue would take the second one. They'll take the highest hat. And then this one gets discarded. All right, that's the end of the first round. Then what you're going to do is you're going to reset. So you're going to move this to the second round. You reshuffle or re-roll all the dice. and you'll refill the board. So 2 on the outside, 3 on the inside, and you're going to keep going. At the end of the 3 rounds, you're going to add up all the points of your hat tokens, see who has the majority and all the other tokens, and whoever has the most points is the winner. That's how you play With a Smile and a Gun. Let's go to the top, see what we think about it. All right, well, that was With a Smile and a Gun. I got to say, first off, prototype. Everything you see here is not the final. I didn't have dice, so I had to grab random dice. This board is a lot bigger than what you saw in Rado's video. Still plays the same, doesn't matter, it's just bigger. So the components are probably going to be better. You can go check out the Kickstarter page to see what it's going to look like when it's done. So that out of the way, let's talk about the gameplay. So this is an area control game for 2 players, which is pretty interesting. Dr. Finn does this a lot. He's able to do these area control things for 2 players. He's pretty good at 2-player games, but it doesn't always work. But in this one it works because you have basically that fake 3rd player with the police. So the police are going to get in there. They're like automated through the control tokens. And so you're really playing a 3-player area majority game, but only 2 players are actually playing. So that's pretty neat. So it gives you that feel of a bigger game without really having to have all those people playing around. So that's pretty neat. This also has some set collection. So not only am I trying to do area majority, I'm also trying to collect these tokens. So I want to get gambling. I want to get weapons. I want to get some narcotics or drugs, whatever you want to call it, because I want to have more than my opponent for sure. But if at all possible, I want to have all the tokens and my opponent have none, or I have 1 and they have none, just so they have none and I have some. Then I'll get the monopoly. I want to have the monopoly of narcotics and weapons and gambling in this town. It's a shady town. What can I say? It is what it is. If we're going to do it, you got to do it right. So you want to have all the monopolies of all the bad things. I'm surprised there's actually not alcohol in here. I feel like it's ripe for prohibition, but whatever. Maybe the drugs are symbolizing prohibition or alcohol. So yeah, this is a really fun game. I played it solo and 2 players, and I like it with actual people better. I don't really like playing a ton of games solo because I don't like having to play the automation of the second player. Like, they'll move dice, they want to move as close as they can to you. They get, and if there's a 6, they want a 6, but if not, they want to take a 2. If there's a 2, then they'll have to take a 4, and then outside of the 4, they want to take the 1. They always take hats from the. Yeah, I don't like that stuff. Just I want a player to play some stuff and take some things. So I would probably play this at 2 because it's fun. I like having the interaction with the other player. But solo was not bad, just not my cup of tea. So I'm going to go ahead and give this a BGM accepted seal. I'm going to give this a 7.5 out of 10 on BGG, or which is a 3.75 out of 5 on our arbitrary wrench scale. That means absolutely nothing. But we like to give it to games that we enjoy because it makes it feel good, and it lets us shine a ray of light into an otherwise dark 2020. So yeah, I like this. I'm hoping to get a final copy at some point because this is a prototype, and I'd actually like to see the real components and have a box. That would be nice. So yeah, that was With a Smile and a Gun. I'm Jason with the Board Game Mechanics, and as always, keep gaming.